Something like that. Okay, so we've got our treasure chest here. For you, it's going to be obviously a much more elaborate fountain. I've got LOD 0 here. He's clocking in at 15, 20 triangles. 1 is only 270. Still looks pretty crisp. LOD 2 is a little derped. I swear he looked better before. I don't know what happened to the UVs. I did some cleanup. So we could, at this point in Blender, we could put lower res materials on our LOD1, LOD2. I'll wait and do that in Unity, but either way, it doesn't matter, right? But we do need not whatever I've got. I don't know if this is a 4K or a 2K or what I've got on here, but we definitely, all this detail in the texture does not matter from yay far out. So we'll put a lower res one in Unity, or you could do it in Blender. So come in here, I'm gonna select all of these guys, and we will export FBX like we do. The magic is in the naming convention. So LOD 0, LOD 1, LOD 2 at the end. Not sure if you need the underscore. That's just how I do it. I think it's just looking for LOD. So I'm going to export as FBX. I only want meshes. I don't need all the lamps and junk. I want to make sure my path mode is set to copy so that the materials I do have go in there, and then that guy is lit up. Just copy without that doesn't do it. So it's a two-step path mode copy and put the file in the box. And everything else is fine. And I'll just export this because I'm a terrible person right to my desktop. And treasure chest LOD example is a good enough name. So I'll export that. And we're actually kind of done with Blender. I don't know if I hit the right checkboxes on only the things that I have selected. I did not. Okay, then we're getting Spidey with it. So let me just redo that. Yeah, that was an oops. It's okay. It's okay. Yeah, you're all like, let's just see what this idiot does. Selected objects, and then we don't get Spidey with it. Okay, and everything else should be good. So I'll re-export, overwrite. Blender doesn't even care. It doesn't even give me a warning. It's like your funeral. All right, that site still can't be reached. So over here in Unity, and again, it doesn't even matter what version of Unity because what you're going to export is a package. You could export it from Unity 5. I think it wouldn't make a difference. So let's make a new folder in whatever mess I've got going on here. I like the underscore to keep my stuff up front, and I'll just drag the guy in. I don't know. I don't know. The Explorer's like taking a nap this morning. It's like, don't wake me up. Hello, computer? Huh? No. Yeah. Wow, I've never. There, it's there. Okay, it was just looking weird. All right, so treasure chest came in. We can see there are differences here. Before we get too much further, let me go ahead and jack with the materials. So let's extract the textures, and I just put a textures folder in my models folder because I'm kind of lazy like that. But it just makes sense. So put the textures in the textures folder. It wants to make sure that Fantasy Chest Normal gets tagged as a normal map in Unity. That's a thing that it always does. So let's go ahead and fix it. Yeah, that's a normal map. And then I almost hit the wrong one. And then hit extract materials. Same thing. I'm going to make a new folder in here. So should look all good. I'm going to go into materials while we're here. And this is called what? Treasure chest .map. So I'll make a new material. We'll get all this stuff out of the way. Treasure chest. Let's call it low res. And then I need to go to my textures here right there in front of me there to show an Explorer. So I'm going to open these with just this guy, actually. I'm not going to mess with the normal map on the lower res. So I will open that up in Photoshop and just shrinky dink it. I can change the import settings, but I want two versions. I want to keep my high res one for up close for LOD 0, but then I'm going to, and it's only 1024 to begin with, so it's not even like a big 4K texture. Maybe. It's 100 ways to do literally anything. So image size, I'll just go, let me just try 256 even. Would not be locked. So yeah, it's gonna be awesome. And then for reduction, there's some different algorithms for what they're gonna do for shrinking it. So yeah, give me 256. It's a small boy. This is kind of a, I don't know what we're calling it on PC land, but on if this was a Mac, we would say it was a Retina screen. It's like high res. So that's what 256 looks like here. Ordinarily from Photoshop, I will do, I'll cross my eyes and I'll find the export. I'll just do a quick export as PNG. There's export as, and then what you can really mess with a lot, and I'll just show this off. Quick export as PNG literally does what it says. You give it a name, it's a PNG. Save for web, even though they're calling it legacy, it's got a lot of cool stuff going on with it. So I can say PNG. I can max the colors here. I can get this big file size down without sacrificing what the image is, but just the data behind it. I can say, look, I can only use 16 colors, and it's a little flatter. 2 colors would be a little dull, but still look good from a distance, I think. Actually, even 8 works, and we can start to see, I believe, a little bit of size difference as we're playing with that. So it's 14K there, 49K at 256 colors. But you know what? That looks plenty fine. So like we just, again, saved all kinds of space in our game engine at a distance by playing with these settings. And there's lots of settings in here you can jack with, but that just limiting the colors is going to save you a lot on your file sizes. So I'm going to go ahead and save as. Please don't overwrite. There we go. Call it low res and try to save it right back into our textures folder. And Unity, with all that money they just got from your pockets by charging you for installs, they set this up where it just picks that up. So I've got that. I'm going to go ahead and make the material. This was low res here. I can lock this guy, come back. And is this my low res? Yeah. So I just set up my low res material. Just check that compared to this. Oh, I still got that locked. Still using a white background. Don't even need the normal map. And so I'll put that on the lower res versions in a minute. Okay, so here's the magic. So go to models, here's my treasure chest. I drag it out. It automatically picks up that it's an LOD, and it automatically picks up that it's far away. So it's only showing me the LOD 2. As I zoom in, or I just hit F, right, there's LOD 0. We're still showing the highest res version. We get out here, boom, we swapped out for LOD 1. Could you tell the difference?
I could barely see it at
right.
Like 2 pixels. Bam, 2 pixels. Bam.
That's it. And we could adjust this. So this is cool too. I can say, look, make it here. So we go from LOD 1. Well, kind of see a little bit of difference there. So this is a good way to test it, right? That was too close. What we set on before? Like 50? 20 something. So there we go. And when you get to where you can't see it flicker, you're doing a good job. The other cool thing that LODs will do for us is automatic culling at a distance, right? So we'll go to LOD. This is our derpy version. We can't tell. but it's our derpy version with the like pointed top, and then we get far enough out, and honestly, we could have called it earlier, but there, cold. It's like not even gonna render it. We can pull that up. Cold means yeah, like the camera's like, you know what? I don't even see you anymore. Like me when I see you in public. I'm just kidding. That was pretty rude. Yeah. If I'd ever seen you in public, then that would be a thing. But no, it's not. We're all good. Or vice versa. And that's it. So that's that. Let's go in and we can change up our stuff here. So definitely on LOD2, I want to put the yucky one. Lock that. Go to the materials. Is it no? But which one? Right. I think I'd have to be all the way out here. Let's find out. So it knows which mesh. It's nice that it's counting triangles for us. Yes, yeah, they're nested here. That would work too. So let's try that. Let's drag that onto LOD2. And there, yeah, that one worked. And so for 2, we can kind of tell because I didn't put a normal on it. And so you can see the shine all the way up until there, and it's like, nah. So that's about the only thing you can tell popping. So get all that set up, get it working, get your materials in there right. One extra thing we might have done is at LOD1, maybe switch to that low res texture, but give it also a low res normal. Because I think if we went from shiny to not shiny at this point, that'd be definitely noticeable. You can make a low res version of the normal if you want for LOD0. But again, at that point, if it's this far away from the screen, from the camera, and there's anything else in your world, we're probably not looking at it anyway, right? Unless it's just a treasure chest on a hill at a distance. So again, depending on what's in your game level, what you want to do, you can add a normal to LOD2 or LOD3, or I think it goes all the way up to LOD5. And there's some other settings in here. Just while we're here, there's a fade mode. So crossfade will kind of do like this weird little animation as it pops in and out. I don't know if we'll notice it. Let me do this. Let me pull this up. Yeah. Can't really tell as much. Oh, good point. Yeah. Do crossfade. And it's trying for just a couple of seconds to do something. For most of our things, we'd set it on none. There is one specifically for SpeedTree, which again, Unity bought that whole company, and so SpeedTree is now a thing in Unity, and they definitely have LODs, and so the SpeedTree is something set up specifically for them. You wouldn't need that on anything else. So let's pull this back to like 30 and 13 and I like 5. Say this is what we want. So let's go ahead and I'm going to create a new folder. Definitely do this step. I need a prefab of your LOD. Make that an original prefab. And there's your guy all set up. Okay. Now here's the last step. Here's the magic. No, the other one was more magic. This is just process. So the prefab that's all set up, just right click that guy. Export the package, and it's going to select all the dependencies. There's my materials, all my textures. There's my model right there. Here's the prefab setup. If you actually, you know what? Let me stop right there because I'm going to go back to my prefab. And let's just go ahead and add, let's go ahead and make it, yeah, we'll make it box. Make it a box collider. Problem being that this outer part of the FBX doesn't have a mesh. It's just empty. It's a holder. So we can put a different collider per. Let me undo that. We'll put a different collider per what we're looking at. So I'm going to do this more deliberately. I'll do a mesh collider here, convex, of course, on the LOD 0, because up close I might care if, I don't know, things bounce off the top right. From a distance, I won't care as much. So we'll do box on the others. And if you're at the level where it's got the mesh, then it'll pick it. Now, even that's not terrible, right? Yeah, a little weirdness going on there. Okay, now let me just save all that. So I'm going to apply all that to my prefab, just so my prefab is more than just the LOD sliding. Okay, now I'm going to go to my prefab here. Right click, export package. Yes, include all the dependencies. Now that's going to include colliders. Export LOD treasure. Probably, yes. Probably initials would be fantastic. Thank you. And again, just so I can find it, put it on the desktop, and then I'll fix my life later. I think I've got in my actual file system, so my documents folder, I've got like 3ds Max, Adobe, Blender. I've got Unity projects and Unity asset packs. So I just save my stuff there generally. So I'm going to do that. Yep, save there. Boom. That asset pack is what I want you to turn in. And I'll be able to open it in Unity, check out your LODs. I'll be able to make sure that your materials are right. I do want low res materials, at least on the farthest one. But as far as the rest of it goes, do whatever makes the most sense for your particular model. And that's what we're doing. That's how Unity does it for us. Save these. Save your super cool high res models, the highest res, and not next week, but sometime later in the semester, I'd like to come back to these and just, I want to play and see what Unreal 5 with Nanite will do to it. Because it is a thing, it's out there. But here's the thing, most companies right now that use Unreal still aren't using Unreal 5 because it's still kind of new, and they're like, nah, we've been working on whatever this game is for 3 years in Unreal 4, so they're not making the switch. But they'll get there. The technology is out there. We'll start to see more games. Games probably started this year are going to be using Nanite and Unreal 5, but we just haven't seen it yet out there. It's super cool if it does everything Epic says it does. Until then, even in Unreal 4, we need LODs. I don't know how it works there. We'll experiment with Unreal later. But that's what we're doing with our high-res fountains this week. Cool? All right.